Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick video demonstration on the new ColorSHIFT 2.0 system. We've got a 5th generation Camaro headlight here. It's already got the rings installed, so let's go ahead and turn it on. Alright, right now we've got it basically on a demo pattern where it's slowly transitioning through several different colors. When you're using the new system, there's a couple ways to select the color that you want. One is to while it's in a pattern such as this, you can actually use the pause button on your remote to pause the color that you want. So if you wanted a, let's say an orangey color or a greenish color, you can actually take it right here and hit the pause button and it's paused, and you can stick with this color. And then you could also save this color, program it to one of the 8 different preset buttons on here, and always go to that green color when you press that particular button. Let's go ahead and start it back up and go through a couple other key features that the new remote has. Another one is that the remote, you can actually take it and dial in the color using red, green, and blue, where you could take the red here and actually dial up the brightness of the red, which in this case it started off as a blue, so it's going to become like a purplish color with the red dialed up. You could also take green and dial up the amount of green that's in here, which is going to start making it into a whiter shade. And that's another cool feature about this, is that when it comes to whites, you can really dial in the exact white you want. Like if this is too warm of a white for you, you could take some of the red out, make it cooler. That's a little greenish, so you take some of the green out, and you know, you're left with sort of a blue, which we could also sort of take out, and we're left with the green. So it's fun. You can play with this a little bit and sort of pick out exactly the colors that you want to use, as well as patterns. If you wanted to have your own patterns preset on here, you could save it, and then you'd press this play button down here, and in this case we have a little demo pattern playing that is a real quick red, green, and blue flash that goes into a white strobe. So you know, it's sort of to you exactly how you want to set these patterns, but it's there if you want to use it. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and pause this for a second, and we'll go through the contents of the box and how to hook up this controller. Okay, when you receive your Oracle ColorSHIFT Halo kit, you're going to have 2 boxes, the larger of which is going to contain the halo rings. The smaller box is going to contain the controller and the remote for the operation of the ColorSHIFT rings. So let's go ahead and go through the contents of this box here. First is the actual controller itself. This has all the same buttons that you're going to find on the remote, as well as a little preview window here that has an LED inside of it that will show you the color that the rings are on at any given time. So if you can mount this box somewhere where it's visible, that's helpful, because this is a cool little feature to have. The other part is the actual remote. Again, it has pretty much all the same features that you'll find on the box. It just enables you to be able to control this from outside of the vehicle. And last is the infrared eye. You're going to want to mount this on your dashboard or somewhere where you can actually point the remote and basically point the remote at it. So driver's side, corner of the windshield's pretty much where we've been installing these. Now for the larger box, that contains your rings. Here's one of the new ColorSHIFT 2.0 rings, and first thing you'll notice is that the rings themselves are much larger than previous models. It's a pretty thick ring. It's, you know, it's very rigid. It doesn't have much flex to it because it's got a 6-layer circuit board on it, as well as these really big 50/50 SMDs. It's a tough ring. You're not going to break this like you could possibly with a CCFL ring. And obviously it's got 4 wires coming out the back of it instead of 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at the controller and how to connect the ring to the controller as our next step here. Alright, so now we're going to get into actually connecting the remote. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We'll show you real quick on the wires coming off the rings. This is the blue anode, the green anode, and the red anode. The black wire is actually power. Since the red anode is using this red wire here, power, you know, normally you would think of that as being red, but in this case the red is the red anode that goes to the red spot on the controller here. So the black is actually power. The only reason you really need to know that is if you wanted to test this. If you wanted, before you're doing the installation, if you wanted to actually test everything, make sure it's working, you would hook up your power to the black, and these three are your grounds. Here's the ring, and let's just turn on power real quick. And now we're actually going to go ahead and hook up our control box. If you look closely on the control box, it has a plus for battery power, a minus for chassis ground, the R is for red, the G for green, the B for blue, and the V is going to be our black wire in this case, which is 12 volt power. To get started, basically slot 1 is our plus, so we're going to hook up battery power to slot 1. In this case, we're bench testing this, so we're just going to assume that this red wire here is going to a battery, and the black wire here is going to a ground, clean chassis ground. The first slot, or the third slot rather, is going to be R for red, so we're going to insert our red wire here. Second slot is G, so we're going to insert the green wire. Slot number 4 is B for blue. And the last one is slot number 5, and that is going to be our black wire that's going to ring. Alright, we've got the controller all connected, so we can go ahead and turn it on. So we go through a couple different modes just to sort of check everything out here. And as you can see with this version, each individual LED actually produces the colors that you're seeing. So it's not made up of individual LEDs. It technically is. Each one of these 5050 diodes is a 3-chip LED, which means it has 3 of the 3528 LEDs inside of it. So basically each one of these is as strong as 3 of the LEDs on previous models of this type of ring. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, obviously this is going to come with its own written instruction guide, so refer to that, and if you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call and speak to one of our technicians.